Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, guys. Celtic Warband here, and today I am bringing you a 3 vs 3 in Napoleon Total War. You can see that I am playing as the Austrian Empire, and my cav is moving forwards here, my light lancer cav. It's moving forwards in response to the French bringing forward some of their chassé à cheval across the bridge. So we're just going to pause that before we see that engagement and just take a look at the army compositions real quick, and then we'll get the battle started. So looking at the Prussian player on the left-hand side, he's kind of divided his army into two groups just to get around this boggy area in the center. So looking at what he's bringing, he's got some Prussian Fusiliers over here. Then he's got some 8th Regiment, 8 Life Regiment. And he's got some Foot Guard, the most elite infantry. And I think back here, yeah, some Musketeers. Excellent. And then if we jump over to this side, we've got an 8-pounder Horse Artillery. And looks like a lot more Musketeers, more Foot Guards. We got the General's Staff. More Musketeers, more Fusiliers, and more Fusiliers. So a good solid amount of line infantry, but a good amount of cav as well. I think he has 2 units of these Leitzaus Freikorps, and then he has 3 units of Hussars, so 6 units total if you're counting the General. And there's another unit of Foot Guard over here. So, pretty elite force for Prussia. Let's go ahead and zip over to myself in the center. So, I have 3 units of cav total, not including the general, so 4 total, I should say. So, I'm bringing these Uhlans. They're pretty cheap cav, but they're just a light lancer. I'm not the best at this game by any means, so I did bring a cheaper cav just because I kind of find that the heavy cavalry... it's just a little bit too slow for what you need it for, kind of surprising the enemy and such. So I went with this really fast, really cheap Lancer Cav. You can see that the 3 units are moving around to attack the French. And then over in my front line, I'm kind of moving them into strategic positions, but I've got 5 units of Jaegers, so a light infantry. And then I brought a ton of these Hungarian Fusiliers, I think 8 units of them. They just seem to be a good standard unit for the money that they cost. And I think, yeah, I've got 2 units of Landwehr, so they're just basically colonial militia. Or not colonial, but just militia, I should say. And I think that's about it. I don't think I brought really anything else besides that. My general is back here. There he is, if we can zoom in on him. Joseph Alvinci. I don't know if that's the correct pronunciation, but then zipping way across here to this little island stretch, we have the Great Britain player. So he's bringing a 6-pounder Horse Artillery. He's got a lot of this light foot. And then he's just brought, looks like, 2 units of Foot Guard. He's got the 42nd Foot, the Black Watch, so that's a Scottish unit. He's brought some Coldstream Guard. This is the best infantry for Great Britain. I think that you're only allowed to bring 1 of these units as well. And then over here he's got some King German Legion Foot. Then he's got some Foot. So just basic infantry there. And then he's got some light foot over here. And some rifles as well. So I think he's gone pretty heavy on the lights as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so we both have 5 lights. So let's look directly across at this French player here who's kind of taken up on the hill. So we've got some Voltigeurs in front. And then he's got some Fusiliers of the line all in the stretch of trees here. Looks like 5 units or so. And then he brought this massive 6-pound howitzer. But apparently it looks like it's 8 cannons. So the rules were 1 cannon per player, but I guess this player brought this one. Actually, how many cannons is that? We got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wow, so that's insane. And then he's got some Old Guard over here. And then I'm not sure where the lines end, but I think this is still the same army. He's got his General Staff. He's got some Old Guard and Young Guard. Some Polish Legion, Dragoons, and some Fusiliers of the line. And then this is the player directly across from myself. So he's just got pretty much a ton of Swiss Foot and some Polish Legion. He's got artillerie de cheval. And he's got a general staff here. Some more Polish Legion in behind with some chassé, more Swiss foot, and some more chassé à cheval. So that's the second player. And then the third player facing the Prussians. Again, pretty standard army with Polish Legion. We got a 12-pounder foot artillery. Some more Polish Legion, some more Swiss foot, some Young Guard, some Young Guard. Yeah, 4 units of Young Guards. So pretty elite infantry on this side. The balance of power you can see is not really in our favor as of yet. But hopefully that will change in the upcoming minutes of the battle. So I'll just stick this on play. Oh, yes, I forgot. So I right away am charging my Lancer Cav into the Chassé à Cheval. Probably a mistake to do such, just because this Lancer Cav isn't really meant for prolonged melee. Would have been better to kind of use them as a supporting unit or to try to surprise some artillery. But yeah, I think the Chassé à Cheval is just a much more elite cavalry unit. You can see some of them are dropping, but they're just slaughtering my cav, which was really frustrating to see. Now, I have 2 units on this unit over here, so it is being depleted a lot quicker. But this unit's just getting ripped apart, unfortunately. I'm trying to get my infantry into a good position, but I don't really want to cross this shallow stream yet, because I feel that the French have a superior position. And I'll try to keep an eye on other points of the battle as well. Looks like the Prussians are just forming up here. But yeah, the Chassé à Cheval is trying to run away. I'm trying to chase them down with my light lancers, but they just seem to be faster, which was annoying. And this unit, it actually is going right for my cannon, my 12-pound foot artillery. I realize that that's, you know, completely undefended, so I'm going to rush my general staff over there to try to stop this unit from getting into my artillery. I should have committed my general a little bit farther even. But here we go, charging into melee against the Chassé à Cheval. (16-17). But yeah, it looks like they're starting to waver a little bit. I'm bringing some more of my cavalry over here to help out. And then over on this flank as well, I'm just using my lights to kind of pepper down that last unit. Again, not really the best position, as you can see. You can't really see the cavalry from that viewpoint, so I decided to pull my men back, which is probably the best thing to do. But yes, you can see that he actually passed right through my general, and he destroyed my my artillery before I was even able to use it. So if that doesn't show you guys what kind of a noob I am at Napoleon, I don't know what does. But yeah, that was pretty disheartening, but it's not the end of the world. I still have all of my infantry. I'm not just going to throw them away. I'm going to be very careful about it and tactical. So let's take a look at the Prussians. They are really pushing hard over here. Looks like getting some light infantry into range against this Swiss foot here. I'm keeping an eye on the minimap too, but as you can see, the Great Britain player is kind of just happy to sit where he is at this point. You can see the Prussians, they kind of have to push for a little bit better of a position, because the Swiss foot is kind of hiding behind this little incline here. So if we kind of zoom down to their level, you can see that, you know, if they were to start firing, there's not really any shots that are going to find their mark. So that's pretty good positioning for the French. We got the artillery coming in as well, trying to fire on these musketeers. Yeah, see, this is a perfect position for the lights, because you can see that they have a clear line of sight, but I think that they're just out of range, unfortunately. So yeah, this is going to be tough for the Prussians, just because they either have that way or they can come across this bridge, which would probably be a slaughter. But all three French players are kind of content just to sit back. So it doesn't look like they're going to be crossing the stream anytime soon. So I've got my unit of light lancer cav here. So I'm going to try and charge them up against this artillery that is undefended. I've got 2 units of them as well. I keep my general back because I don't want to lose him this early on in the battle. Ooh. I think they're firing a canister shot at my cavalry as soon as it gets close. And yes, look at this. There is a hidden unit of chassé in these stands of trees here. So it's not even undefended. So you guys can see that I do have a lot to learn about this game. I didn't even know that they could hide that effectively with another unit close by that was in view. But I did get a charge into his artillery, but unfortunately they're like maxed out with chevrons. So it doesn't look like they're going to break. And there goes my Lancer Cav. So yeah, pretty much all of my cav is dead at this point. There is one little unit of chassé à cheval way back here, and I think he's waiting for the opportune moment to attack, so we'll keep an eye on that. But yeah, still with the Prussians and the French, they're kind of just at a little bit of a stalemate at this point. They're not really doing anything, just kind of waiting to see who is the less patient of the two. But he has to be careful, because this artillery... the artillery of the French is focusing down the Prussian artillery, but I'm wondering if he's going to be able to get a good shot to be able to fire on this French here. These Swiss foot. I don't think so. Like, he's getting a couple of kills, but actually no, he's not getting any kills. So yeah, it looks like he's going to have to cross here. Oh, he's actually charging his hussars across. And he's going for a charge. They do not get into square formation, so that is a bad move for the French there. So these hussars are going to be able to pretty much cut right through these 2 units. And he's pouring even more cav right across the bridge. So very good battlefield awareness there by the Prussians. The hussars are starting to lose a little bit of morale. I'm not sure, they may actually even break here to the Swiss foot. Yes, they actually do. So the Swiss foot does hang on over here, but there's a couple of units up against this unit of Swiss foot, and they actually do break it. And as this Swiss foot is trying to get back into position, just a couple of volleys from those musketeers send them packing. So a good start on this side for the Prussians. If we kind of zip all the way over to the other side of the battlefield over here, you can see I haven't moved up yet. I'm still trying to figure out what to do. And yeah, the English player is still kind of just sitting. They've got a little bit of a skirmish going on between the rifles and the voltigeurs. And it looks like they're under a barrage of artillery fire from that ridiculously overpowered cannon. So let's jump back to this side of the battle. So this was actually a very good move for Prussia, because now he's going to be able to move across this little stream pretty much unopposed. And this is going to give him a much bigger field to be able to spread out his troops and fire down at the enemy. You can see that the French, they've kind of just pulled back to this hill. They don't really want to engage the Prussians at all. They're just content to kind of sit back here with their artillery. Same with my French player. He's kind of sitting quite a far ways back as well. He does have a couple units here of Polish Legion that are going to be prohibiting me crossing. But what I'm going to do is try to play a little smart here and send my Landwehr in first, because if there's any units that I want to soak up the enemy fire, it'd be these militia units. So I'm sending them across here. And I will follow with my Jaegers, because I want to use their superior range to kind of pick apart the enemy that's on this side. You can see he's already moving up some chassé as well to try to have the ranged advantage. Moving up more, yeah, just a ton more of the chassé. I think that's how you pronounce that, chassé. He's got some Swiss foot over here as well. Still watching the mini-map, but looks like Prussia is still just kind of moving into position, and Great Britain is holding where he is. So I'm pretty sure this is where the next action is going to happen. Just trying to get my Landwehr into a position where I can just screen the rest of my troops that are coming across. Like my Jaegers. I would much rather my cheaper militia units die than my Jaegers. But I do have the numbers of range advantage, so I'm going to try and get at least 3 units across this stream. I'm sure they'll start to open fire any second here. Here we go. Got them forming up just as the chassé is moving into position. And my Jaegers are already in range as well. You can see them firing in behind, but I have to move my militia even closer to even be able to get a shot off. Alright, load up, men. Their morale is already dropping. There we go. Yeah, you can see I'm getting some nice fire with this on this unit of chassé over here with my lights. And it looks like the Polish Legion are moving quite a distance forwards. I'm not sure if they just want to get a better position on my militia units or what, but... Oh, they're just going to charge right into melee. Yeah, that's going to destroy this unit of militia very quickly. Yep, so that's pretty much done them in. But I did manage to break one of the units of chassé, and I'm working on my second. But, ooh, that just consistent volley there just rips apart my men. We've got the Polish Legion charging forwards, but I'm going to kind of use this screen tactic and just move this unit back just in time and just keep the other 2 units firing on them. He is really getting close to me in melee. You can see he does catch a couple of my units, which was a little frustrating to see. Unfortunately, I didn't have my Hungarian Fusiliers to support, so again, that was another mistake by me. But thankfully, he actually withdraws from that, so I quickly turn around my Jaegers to fire down on that again. Here comes the Cav as well, so I'm quickly trying to run my lights away. But unfortunately, I couldn't run my Hungarian Fusiliers up, so I just stopped them here, and I just hope that they can fire down on this massive mob of French that's coming after me. Yes, there we go. Just gonna turn off the mini-map for now. So yeah, we're breaking that cab, which is good. And then we've got some Polish Legion moving in as well. And some more cab even. We got some more chassé à cheval charging into my Fusiliers. So yes, I did get one of my units, as you can see, into square formation just in time. And I've got another line of Hungarian Fusiliers that's just firing down over the heads into this cav. All of my light infantry is, well, some of my light infantry is broken at this point. But I think they do come back from routing, which is good. Let's go ahead and pop this mini-map again. take a look at the Prussians. So they've got their work cut out for them because the French definitely have the hill advantage over here. That's going to be a tough trek. Let's see if we can get a zoom in over there. Yeah, so you can see them all the way at the top of the hillside there. And that's Young Guard, too. You don't want to charge up that hill against the Young Guard. Or do you? We'll find out what the Prussian player does. He's using his Prussian Fusiliers to kind of pick apart these units before he moves in. And he does have a pretty strong force of Hussars as well that are moving over. We've got some Polish Legion that's charging in to try to defend their cannon. And it looks like it's going to work as well. And the cannon is also firing, pretty much firing directly at these units that are down the hill here. So yeah, he's going to have to get some infantry up here, or all of his cav is just going to break. Let's see how we're looking in my section over here again. Very, very well. I managed to slaughter all of the French infantry that came forwards. So yeah, you can see the rest of the French infantry is breaking here. So now I'm also able to march across unopposed, and most of my army is pretty healthy. I was actually quite surprised, just given the fact that I'm not as skilled of a player, but most of my line infantry is untouched. Also for the British, they are doing very well also, just due to the fact that this French player is kind of only moving in one unit at a time. You can see he's got this very expensive unit of Young Guard here trying to get into range, but these rifles are just kind of, you know, taking pot shots at them, just picking them apart one by one. Already down to 99 men from 160. Looks like we got some of the King German Legion Light Dragoons coming forwards as well. I'm not sure if the French player is aware of this cab moving forwards. I'm not even sure what he's planning to go for. Looks like he's going straight for these Fusiliers of the line, which I probably would have gone for these Voltigeurs over here, but I think they put down stakes. That makes sense. But yeah, it does not form square, so this is a very excellent charge into this unit. And I think he has some more cavalry units as well moving forwards. Ooh, some big hits there, though, with the artillery. That really affects the morale. But still going to be able to charge in here. Very nice. So we got some really nice cavalry charges in this battle. Oh, it looks like the French have sent in... Have they sent in some of their units as well? No, that's still the Fusiliers of the line. But these Dragoons are actually pretty much freed up. And we've also got some Dragoons over here. Yeah, taking out that Grand Battery of the Convention. Very good play there. And there's a 6-pound howitzer over here as well, so that's going to be lost. So that is tough to see if you are rooting for the French. Really losing their advantage here. He's pulling his general kind of into the center of his men. But if I was the Great Britain player, I'd be focusing my artillery right into this blob, which is exactly what he's doing. Excellent, excellent, excellent. So, yeah, not good there for the French. They really need to spread out their lines. Over here for me, I've kind of set apart to attack this small detachment of Swiss foot over on this flank. And I'm also facing this side. I think this is a mix of the two French players on this side as well. Meanwhile, the Prussians are slowly conquering the hill. He's not really facing the old guard up this slope. He's kind of curling around, which is really smart, getting onto a level terrain to be able to fire accurately into this Polish Legion. Oh, I love it when they just all fire as one. That is awesome. Let's turn off the mini-map here just for a little bit. Yeah, here comes I think the I think this is the Prussian Fusiliers, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, this is the foot guard. So yeah, that's gonna be a tough unit to break. It looks like we got some light infantry cresting the hill as well. They're getting a little close, but I understand that he kind of wants them in a good position to be able to fire down on this Polish Legion. And yes, you can see he's just moving his entire army up to this area of the hill, because once he beats this flank, then he can come over and face this young guard on an equal playing field. So that's really smart positioning there. Over here, I'm still whittling away this Swiss foot. You can see that I have my lights up in front. The French player realizes that he's kind of being picked apart. He's going to have to move closer to be able to get some shots off. I'm just going to move my lights in behind my Hungarian Fusiliers and then just use them in a supporting role. Ooh, good shots. You can see the morale already dropping quite rapidly there. It's really tough when you set up your troops first while the opponent is already still moving his troops, because that first shot off really means a lot. But it looks like he's just going to charge all of his men into melee against my Fusiliers. So there we go. Wow, that is very loud. Up against this one unit here. What I'm going to do, too, is I'm going to try to get this second unit of Fusiliers to line up. As you can see, I'm lining them up right here. And I'm going to try to fire down on the flanks of the Swiss foot. Oh, but we've got some sneaky cav here. I think I managed to get square just in time. Yes, you can see the horses rearing their heads. I guess square, it kind of terrifies the horses and affects their charge bonus and morale. So they are pulling back, as you can see. And these these French Swiss foot, they're breaking. One of the units is broken already. He is sending another unit of Swiss foot over here, though. And he's sending his cavalry back to attack this unit of Fusiliers, which was a pretty good charge, I will give him that. But I'm just moving another unit into position, and I'm just going to fire right into the ranks. If we get some friendly fire, so be it. If only to break this cavalry. Alright, let's turn on the minimap, see how it's going in other places of the battle. I've got all of my troops lined up to kind of deal with this final defense here. We've got some chasse, we've got some Polish Legion, we've got the artillery crew. The general is actually going to be charging forwards as well. It's kind of a suicide charge, if you ask me. Yeah, he's getting quite cut down. And I did put them into square position. And I don't know exactly where the general is. I think that this is the general here, if I'm not mistaken. He's the only one that looks different. There's only 4 left, and the 4 are here, so... Oh, there goes the general there. So yes, now 2 of the generals are dead for the French. And let's go ahead and visit the the Prussian side. So now the French are in trouble because they're facing a war on 2 fronts on this slope. So now the Prussians are starting to move up on the hillside. The French did have an advantage, but now they're just caught between the hammer and the anvil. So they're going to try and face these units on the left, but they're just going to be fired upon from the right as well. Let's get rid of the mini-map here. Yeah, this old guard isn't going to stand a chance when it's outflanked like that. You can see there, we've got some Swiss foot here too, but that's really the last defense. Yes, so all 3 of the French generals are dead at this point. And the Prussians are able to help me in my endeavor as well, coming over to provide some support against this final stand. But the Polish Legion has charged into melee against my Fusiliers, but my Fusiliers are just so healthy still at this point. Yeah, they're just getting cut down. My Hungarian lines are starting to become quite depleted at this point, but it doesn't really matter. You can see the balance of power is now pretty much in our favor. I've even got this really depleted unit right here, just firing right at the flanks of these French soldiers. Yeah, so they're just out. They're out-positioned, out-maneuvered. They formed square as well because I charged my general in here, so I'm going to try and get him out of there as quickly as possible. And they're going to fire right back into my general. Luckily, he did survive, though. So but that was a pretty foolish charge. I shouldn't have done that. You can see still getting some shots off of my general. Yeah, this last French unit, it's pretty much surrounded. You can see the Prussians are here to help out as well. And also the British are here with their Dragoon Guards. So we kind of wrapped up that flank over here. I've also won on this flank. The last of the French Swiss foot is broken. And we've got the British marching across this bridge, which looks pretty awesome. See if I can get a nice shot of that without falling into the river. Let's go ahead and clear these here. They're moving extremely slow, though. It's about the best we're gonna get there. Oh, here come the flag bearers there. That just looks awesome. Moving forward in ranks of 6 or 8. Awesome, awesome. But the French are pretty much getting chewed up on this flank as well. My Hungarians are on their way. I'm rushing forwards to come to the aid of the British, but they don't really need it at this point. Got some King German Legion foot over here. Come on, men, you need to fire. Are they retreating? I'm not sure what they're doing. They're into square formation. I don't know exactly why. Is there some cavalry around, or? I don't think so. I don't see any cavalry. But it looks like the Fusiliers of the line are going to be charging this position as well. I don't know how effective square is against infantry, but I don't really think it is at all. They did manage to break the Fusiliers of the line, and I think that just about wraps up the battle. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this battle. I apologize if my commentary isn't the same as regular. I find that commentating over Napoleon battles just to be a little bit different than other battles for some reason. I don't know if it's just because there's a lot more that I need to cover or what, but Hopefully you guys enjoyed the battle nonetheless. So here are the players. So James the Great as the Prussians, myself as the Austrians, and Ole Ole 4401 as the British. And then we had History General, De Gero 80, and Pro Polonus. And if we look at the kills, I was not bad. I was at least second, which is pretty good. And let's see who got the most kills on my team. 130, 185 Fusiliers. Yeah, it looks like the Fusiliers is what saved the day for me. So yeah, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you guys would like to see more Napoleon content in the future. And I will see you in the next one.